This story you'll see only on 7 involves sniper suspects John Muhammad and John Malveaux and some new information that we've uncovered about their dealings in the Caribbean. ABC 7 News reporter Horace Holmes traveled to the island of Antigua to track down the trail of the alleged sniper suspect. Horace, tell us what you learned.
Well, first of all, we've learned that federal investigators now say they have arrested a man in Connecticut who allegedly taught Muhammad how to falsify documents and illegally get Antiguan passports. That, according to authorities, was just the first step of what allegedly became a massive criminal enterprise that spanned several countries and fueled Muhammad's lifestyle. These are the beautiful sun-kissed shores of Antigua, a tourist paradise. But there is another Antigua. This is the Antigua sniper suspects John Lee Malveaux and John Muhammad came to know during their stay on the island, a rural, impoverished country with a reputation as being the hideout of the Caribbean.
I said to him, "You lied to me because you stole your wife, kids, and bring them here."
Janet Greer asked we not show her face. She says John Muhammad deceived her. In March of 2000, Greer says she received a call from her cousin in Tacoma, Washington.
He has a friend that would like to come to Antigua for vacation. And I thought about it first, and then I said, okay. I didn't have a...
That man was John Muhammad, traveling with his 3 young children. Greer agreed to let the family live in her house. Muhammad, she says, appeared to be a loving father, but after a few weeks, she asked Muhammad to take his children and leave after a conversation she had with his youngest daughter.
She said to me that her mother, he had visitation rights and he took them.
John Fuller heads the Antiguan government task force investigating Muhammad's dealings on the island.
It seems as if he kidnapped the children. He wanted a place outside the tentacles of American bureaucracy, I think. In which to hide them.
Acquaintances of Muhammad say he eventually settled in and took a job, occasionally working at this hardware store, F.E. Hadid & Sons. But authorities say his real business was much more lucrative and very illegal. Immigration documents obtained by ABC 7 News reveal Muhammad entered the country illegally, using a fake Wyoming driver's license under the name Thomas Lee.
After he left, when I went to clean out the room, I found an envelope. I looked in it and I saw 4 birth papers.
It seems as if he did arrive here armed with a large number of false blank birth certificates.
But investigators say those were just the building blocks of what would become a massive criminal enterprise, fueling Muhammad's lifestyle and travel.
He was just a simple, humble, and he seemed like if he was a genuine individual who would help.
Augustine Shepard says Muhammad was known in Antigua as the American who could get you anything you want.
Actually, he told one guy if someone needs guns, they can come to him.
And those requests would send Muhammad on a string of trips back and forth to the United States.
Muhammad have a lot of people all the time trafficking from America to Antigua regular.
That was Keithlin Ned, a former roommate of Muhammad, who said that Muhammad was in the business of trafficking people back and forth from Antigua to the United States. And the question both U.S. and Antiguan authorities want to know now is how many people did Muhammad allegedly help get into the United States and who those people are. They also want to know if he was working alone or if he had help both here and in the Caribbean. We'll explore that tonight on ABC 7 News at 11 and again tomorrow on ABC 7 News at 5.
Proud to be on your side. This is ABC 7 News at 11.
I just was stunned. I was shocked. I didn't know what to do.
Tonight, an alleged victim speaks out, saying a local priest abused him years ago. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Maureen Bunyan.
And I'm Kathleen Matthews. Only on 7 tonight, the I-Team has learned that the pastor at St. Joseph's Church on Capitol Hill has been pulled from his parish after 2 men filed reports saying that priest molested them back in the 1970s. Tonight, the I-Team's Horace Holmes has the story of one of those alleged victims.
He pulled me into his bed, started kissing me, and started fondling me.
It was 1973. George Cressline was 16 years old, young, naive, and at that pivotal moment in his life, suddenly
dangerously vulnerable to a man he says he admired and trusted, a young priest named Paul Lavin, then associate pastor of Mount Calvary Parish, chaplain at George's High School, Bishop McNamara in Forestville, Maryland, and head of the youth group George and so many of his friends were a part of.
He makes himself very endearing to you. He really took a concern as to who I was and what I wanted to do with my life, and especially when I started talking about going into the seminary. So he invited me to look at St. Pius X.
St. Pius X Catholic Seminary, located just outside Pittston, Pennsylvania, Father Paul Lavin's hometown.
We went up for an overnight trip.
After touring St. Pius that night, George says they were to stay at Lavin's grandmother's home in Pittston and then ride back the next day to Forestville. The two shared a room. George remembers getting ready for bed.
There was twin beds in the room. I went on one bed and he went on the other bed. He asked me to come over and give him a hug, and I did, and then he gently pulled me into the bed with him. And that's when he started caressing my back. He started with caressing my back and my sides and my arms and everything, and he started caressing my genitals. Then when he stopped following me and caressing me, he took my left hand, I do know it's my left hand, and put it down into his underwear and then pulled his underwear down. He started taking my hand and having me caressing his genitals. I was just kind of frozen. I didn't know what to do or how to react. There's this huge man, has me all tied up basically with his arms. When's it going to end? I guess it was the thought that was running through my mind, and how can I get out?
In this report he made with the Pittston, Pennsylvania Police Department, George writes, "This seemed to go on forever. It all seemed to be an eternity." But George says it did finally stop.
I moved my hand away, and we just laid there quietly for a few minutes. And then he said, "Why don't you go back and get in bed?" I just was stunned. I was shocked. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to fight him off, basically.
Today, the Archdiocese placed Father Lavin on leave while they investigate. Father Lavin denies all allegations.
We take every allegation seriously. We don't know what happened here. We're hoping the authorities are going to find out. We're encouraging the authorities to find out. We do believe that people have rights, and the most important thing is to find out the truth and find out the facts.
Almost 30 years have passed, and George Crestline has kept this story to himself until now.
I think I pushed it so far back that I never wanted to talk about it or deal with it. And I didn't see what good it would do anybody. I never thought there would be other people out there.
But another person had come forward to say he was a victim as well. And George's story doesn't end there. The police in Pittston confirmed to the I-Team they investigated the report, and the case is now in the hands of the district attorney up there. Tomorrow on ABC 7 News at 5, we'll tell you the rest of George's story and more about the other alleged victim. Kathleen?
Horace, thank you. Now, in an effort to thoroughly investigate these kinds of cases, the Washington Archdiocese today announced 2 new initiatives.
And come up with the answers that we need to make sure that we're doing the right thing, that our people are safe, that children are protected.
Cardinal McCarrick said the Archdiocese will have a new victim assistance coordinator to whom people alleging abuse can go for help. Also, there will be a new 9-member child protection board to review policies and find ways to enforce them.
The key to major renovation is working with the right people.
They have a lot of great energy and fun, and the house doesn't reflect that right now.
This is for someone who enjoys luxury bathing and showering.
If you want to be a general contractor for 4 to 6 months, there are probably ways you can save a lot of money.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for this ABC 7 News special, Home Sweet Home. I'm Andrea McCarran. Many of us are spending a lot more time at home these days, and that's made home decoration and renovation more popular than ever. Tonight, ideas, advice, and hopefully a head start on making some dramatic changes in your homes. We'll take a look at the coolest new gadgets and appliances to hit the market this year. Plus, tips that could drastically reduce your monthly utility bills. Our experts will show you how to get that designer look without paying those designer prices. And we'll tackle the tough topic of home renovations. Do you hire a contractor or can you do it yourself? And how to keep the costs down either way. We begin tonight with advice on making big decorating changes on a small budget. In an extraordinary experiment, we paired one energetic interior designer with two willing homeowners. Their challenge? To transform one room in each home in roughly a week. Phil Wiggins travels the world playing blues harmonica. When he's back home, he wants a place to unwind, a living room where he and Judy LaPrade can showcase the art Phil has collected on several continents.
This is our home, and we're away so much that when we're here, we like to be very comfortable and cozy and have as many people here as we can fit in, whether it's family or friends.
Would you want to have snack now or after Matthew wakes up?
Karen Dubrow is the mother of 3 young boys. She wants her living room to be an escape from the chaos of parenting.
When the boys are out in the backyard screaming and yelling, or down in the playroom and John's got the football game on in the family room, I want a room that's fresh and clean and stays clean and that I can come to and sit and read and have some quiet.
2 homes, 2 styles, reflecting different personalities.
It's this one. That's really nice.
We asked interior designer Celia Welch to help us transform the 2 living rooms in roughly a week, making some big changes on a small budget, trying to achieve the polished look of home magazines without spending a fortune.
This is nice. I mean, it looks like it's going to be fine.
We'll start with the home shared by Phil Wiggins and Judy LaPrade. They're both musicians and both travel extensively. Yet it's not their piano, but the television set that takes center stage in their cluttered living room.
If we could get all this put into some sort of a cabinet, that would be okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind if the TV's closed off?
Oh yeah, no, not at all. I'm really looking forward to not having the TV be a focal point in the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I want to add a little warmth to the space and get away from the white walls, you know, and show up a lot of your really great pieces too, because I think that now you just don't even notice them.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to feature the piano a little bit more.
Celia's advice: bold colors to showcase the art. Her biggest challenge: finding the key pieces and reducing the clutter.
It needs something, because otherwise it's just very blah, and they're not blah. So, you know, I just want to liven it up and show more of who they are, and they have a lot of great energy and fun, and the house doesn't reflect that right now.
Celia also gently recommends that Phil part with his favorite chair, a bulky recliner.
As you can see, it's a great chair. See, I can kick it up and... This is me.
I'm leaning for it to go, so hopefully he'll let me get it out of there.
Well, I want to place myself in Celia's hands. I do. We've talked a lot, and I trust her. Yeah. Although she wants to get rid of my chair.
Karen Dubrow's living room has become a storage place of sorts. Little has changed there since the family moved in 3 years ago, except that Karen painted sample colors on the wall several months back, stripes that remained until Celia Welch stepped in.
Karen had a little brochure, a little cutout piece with everything, all the things she's collected over time that she wanted to do, things cut out from magazines and all her ideas, and it was great. She just needed that little extra push. And sometimes that's all you need a designer for, just to come in and say, it's okay, this looks fine, do this, put this with this.
Celia's plan: to make the room more feminine and make the most of 2 existing pieces in the room: the piano and a mirror.
I'm so excited because I've been trying to do this living room for 3 years, and I'm paralyzed. I just haven't been able to do it, and finally talking to Celia, I can see it starting to come together.
That transformation wasn't easy. We'll show you the dramatic results in both rooms a little later in our show. Now, if you're like a lot of homeowners and you just can't seem to get started on your own, you can hire an interior designer for as little as 2 hours. But to make the most of their time, do your homework first. That means clipping pictures from magazines and catalogs, gathering paint samples, and prioritizing the changes you want to make. If those changes include bringing some high-tech gadgets into your home, have we got a story for you. You can now buy everything from a portable fireplace to a shower like this one with a TV in it. Here's ABC 7 News reporter Horace Holmes.
Grown men and women can still have a little child left in them, and modern technology can help you turn your home into a 21st century playhouse.
I would say 50% of the floor had to be broken up and dug down 3 to 4 feet in order to install the plumbing.
Lisa Alexander wanted the fun spot in her home to be her basement, so she transformed it into the ultimate spot to unwind after a hard day at work. Now, with a little imagination and some money, she did it. And the crown jewel of the project?
6 jets, and they're rotating jets. This is called a cascading faucet.
Her home spa, complete with jacuzzi tub. Think that's luxurious bathing? Well, check this out.
This is the J Allure bath and shower combination made by Jacuzzi. It has
everything.
It has everything. This is for someone who enjoys luxury bathing and showering. Because with this unit,
you can spend the day in here.
Well, you can spend hours in here. It has a TV, which you can hook up your cable, your DVD. You could also hook up your CD player and listen to your favorite music while showering.
And oh, by the way, you can also bathe in here. It has a shower head, 8 body jets, a hand shower, and whirlpool.
Now, how about we warm you up with something that can bring a little heat and romance to your home, no matter where you live.
A lot of apartment dwellers and people that don't have fireplaces, this is a great unit for them.
It puts out heat, but the fire's not real. The logs aren't real. This isn't a gas unit. It's all electric, and it's portable.
The unit itself just sits on top of the baseboard, and then the top piece just slides down over it. It's plugged into 120 regular household current, and it's a real good deal.
It's a lights-out price of just under $800.
No cleanup, no muss, no fuss.
So you can control every single light in your house.
Lights out or lights on from anywhere with this system from Lutron called Radio Raw.
Either you could light the house from your car, from a car visor, or you could walk right into the front door and hit a welcome home button on your keypad, which would also light a pathway into your living room or bedroom or kitchen. You can also set up buttons to let you recall any setup that you want for entertaining or for going to bed every night.
It's also great for home security. You hear a noise downstairs at night, hit a button on your remote in the bedroom, and the lights go on downstairs. Whether it's remote lighting, remote control window blinds, or a shower to die for. If you love gadgets, there's something out there for your home. Horace Holmes, ABC 7 News.
Thanks, Horace. When we come back, woofers, tweeters, and booming bass. We'll take a look at the hottest trends in home theaters. But first, do you know the median home price for the Washington metro area? Here's what a few of your neighbors guessed.
Oh, probably $210,000. Probably around $400,000.
I would guess around $500,000.